Hey YouTubers, just making a YouTube video here. If you've seen my Kawasaki FH500V video, you know exactly why I'm making this video. When it was running, one of these rockers was making a tick noise as it was running, so yes, the engine is on the air and zoom now. I'll have a video of that soon. But before I do that, I need to get a new carburetor screw because I'm missing one. It's one of the main jets. And then I have an oil seal, crank oil seal leak up there, and that's where that came from. It's not bad. That was just from down here. There's still some on there. But it's a very, very slow leak. But I ordered a new crank seal for that. Hopefully that'll fix that. If you've had that same problem, let me know down in the comments. I'd like to know how you fixed it. So today what we're doing is we are readjusting these rocker arms here. When I first opened it up, they were both about like that. See how loose that one is? So what you're gonna need is a 10mm socket to get the rocker cover off. You're going to need a new rocker cover gasket. Well, here is the part number in case anybody needs to know. This is for a Kawasaki FH500V BS31. There's the sticker right there. Alright, so you're going to need a new rocker cover gasket, and that goes over that in there. Like so. As you can see, the old one already fell apart. Then what you're going to need is an adjustable wrench. I'm using an adjustable wrench because I didn't have a big enough metric socket for this. And then you're going to need a little bitty Allen wrench, about that size. I know it's smaller than an 1/8. It's metric, so I don't know. This one came out of one of those Home Depot sets that I lost the screwdriver to, so I'm using a little pair of vice grips. It works. Do as I say, not as I do. So I don't have a feeler gauge with me, but I've been watching a lot of videos and I have some experience with some smaller overhead valve engines with the same problem. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to tighten it up to about right about there. See how it doesn't shake or rattle around as much? And there's about very, very fine space in there, a little bitty space, just big enough for it to go up and down on. And then you're going to want to do that the same thing for the other one, just tighten it until there's enough space underneath there. This one feels a little too tight, so we'll back it off a little bit. And then once you do that, you're going to want to take your adjustable wrench and your little thingy here, and you're going to want to hold the adjustable wrench on the little nut here as you tighten the little set screws in there. And I'm going to set the phone down so I can do that real quick. Sorry you won't see it in the video, but you'll get to hear me do it. So right now I'm checking to make sure that's the right setting I want. Then I'm going to hold the nut with the adjustable wrench, and I'm going to tighten that little Allen key screw, set screw in there so it's tight. I don't have the torque specs on it, but just you want it pretty tight, but not super tight to where it breaks. So hang on. If you're wondering what that click was, it wasn't anything bad. The vice grips fell off here. Alright, this seems fairly tight to me. And now the rocker isn't that loose anymore. Hang on while I switch to do the other one. And as you can see, this rocker isn't that loose anymore. It still seems a little loose, I might have to readjust it, but I think these engines you want about 20 to 50 thousandths of a gap in between there. So if you do have a feeler gauge, do that. I don't know the exact specs for this engine, but usually all engines will run with that on there without a problem, and it won't take anymore. So I'm gonna finish up the other one, and then we'll do a cold start video on this, and you'll see it here in a second. One thing I forgot to mention is make sure the cylinder is at top dead center. So you're gonna want to turn it over really slowly. You'll see the exhaust valve open and close, then you'll see the intake valve open and close. Once you see that intake valve open and close, turn it until you can feel compression, and then if you can, you might be able to see the magnet on the flywheel, and if that's lined up here, then that means that you're at top dead center, and that's where it's going to spark, whenever the magnet's lined up there. Then you can tighten this up. I already did that. As you can see, they're not as floppy as they were before. They're probably not close to where they're supposed to be, but they're better than what they were, so we'll see if it still takes. So now what you're going to want to do is take your new gasket and put it on your valve cover here. Once you got it on the valve cover, you're going to want to put that back on. Make sure you clear any dirt and stuff around where the gasket seals, and clean any grass or dirt or dust that got in there, and you should be good to go. So next video you'll see this starting up, and we'll see if we fix the tank. So once you get your gasket in there, go ahead and take your 10mm socket and or wrench and tighten this up. You can probably do it by hand first, so I'll go ahead and do that. So tighten this up by hand, make sure your gasket's seated properly. As you can see here, it's not, but once these get tight, we'll readjust it. So there we go. And slowly tighten these up. Then, I don't have the torque specs for this, but just use common sense. Don't overdo it, don't underdo it. So, and kind of do it in a back and forth motion. Back to this one again. And back to this one. And there you go. Again, check to make sure your gasket's seated properly. It looks like mine is. So now we'll go ahead and fire this thing up. Okay, so we just got the valve cover put back on with the new gasket. So now I'm going to do a cold start. I don't have the throttle cable hooked up, so I have to manually do it. So let's see how it starts up. Let's see if I fix the rocker tick. Alright, so that was a video on how to adjust your valves on a V-twin Kawasaki. As you can tell, it quit the little ticking noise, so I adjusted them right. And hopefully this helps you guys out, and like and subscribe for more videos. See you guys later.